Hey friends, Shannon from Catapult Consulting Group here with you. That's CatapultConsultingGroup.com. And today I wanted to come on and talk about key trainings that every single employer should be having their employees take. These are key training. These are foundational trainings. It doesn't matter what industry. It doesn't matter what job category. These are trainings that every single employee needs to have. Now, I'm not going to get into certain industry type trainings because those are industry based, or sales or product or other types of safety training. However, I am going to get into the key trainings regarding compliance, regarding leadership development, and some other things that you definitely need to make sure that your leaders and your talent are getting trained on. Why is training so important? Well, not only do you want to make sure that your people have the tools to be successful in the positions that they hold, but you also want to make sure that you have your company standards established. You also want to make sure that you are managing risk in addition to minimizing your liability. So let's just start off with compliance training. Things like harassment, sexual harassment, bullying, hostile environment. Listen, I know some of you guys might be saying, well, all my people are remote. It doesn't matter. There are ways that people can harass others online, via text. It doesn't have to be in person in order for it to meet the criteria for harassment. So regardless of the dynamic of your specific organization or corporation, please make sure that they are getting this type of training. In addition, your managers need to get training on how to interview legally. And let me tell you, a lot of stuff has changed since 2020. So you want to update your training to make sure that the things that need to be in those trainings based on the last 3 years are included. If you have a small shop and you don't have a designated HR person, you definitely want your managers to receive the basics of employment law, because how they engage employees and how they are talking to them about certain subjects, even about things that might come up regarding ADA or FMLA or other types of issues where maybe you want them to broach that topic with them or maybe you don't. But your established standards need to be very clear regarding how they need to do this. Okay, next I want to talk about onboarding training. Did you know that 50% of people who had bad recruiting experiences completely stepped away, never to even give themselves the opportunity for an offer because of that bad recruiting experience? Talented, key candidates that walked out the door because of a bad experience. And so we want to make sure that if you are an employer, that you are not stacking the odds against you, but providing your staff a solid training so that as people are being engaged and recruited, that you don't have key recruits walk out of the door. And you know, once they walk out, there's a high probability those talented people would probably not consider working for that company at a later date because of the negative experience that they had. Another survey indicated that 58% of job seekers declined a job offer just because of a bad experience in the hiring process. So what does that mean? That means that if a person has a negative experience just engaging a company, they don't want to be bothered with a company. So you want to make sure that whoever is in charge of your onboarding process, that they know how to onboard people properly, because even if you don't choose that candidate the first go around, you want to make sure that the door is open in the future if they're a good candidate, but just not a good fit for that position at that time. Okay, now let's get into leadership training. There are so many types of training regarding leadership, but one of the things that we all know is that people leave bad bosses and not bad companies most of the time. So making sure that your leaders know how to deal with disciplinary issues, making sure that your leaders know how to engage even with emotional intelligence will help your organization, and it will attract people that want to work there, because everybody wants to work in an environment that's healthy. So training leadership on how to maximize their leadership skills, even soft skills, can be very beneficial to your company. Other trainings that I want to kind of highlight right now in this season of the Great Resignation and people ghosting their jobs and all of this other stuff are, of course, I can't get away from it, diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging training. We want to make sure that people are feeling a sense of community with that actual position, their job, and the people. The other types of training are anti-bias, microaggression, and things along those lines. Again, these are all kind of tied to diversity and equity, but we want to make sure that we have an environment, regardless of whether or not it's an online or remote environment, that we are doing everything possible to ensure people feel connected. So these are the areas that we want to focus training on, foundational areas. Of course, there are so many other things that we could train on to ensure that the workforce in your specific business is being built up the way that you would like, but these are foundational trainings that every business should train on. So if you want more information, feel free to visit us at CatapultConsultingGroup.com. We will be glad to help you, and have a great day. I'll see you on the next video. Bye.